Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Deuteronomy 10 to 15, Proverbs 26, and Psalm 119. Let's get started. At that time the Lord said to me, carve yourself 2 tablets of stone like the first, and come up to me on the mountain and make an ark of wood, and I will write on the tablets of blood. Now were on the first tablets that you broke, and you shall put them in the ark. So I made an ark of acacia wood, and cut 2 tablets of stone like the first, and went up the mountain with the 2 tablets in my hand, and he wrote on the tablets in the same writing as before, the 10 commandments that the Lord had spoken to you on the mountain out of the midst of the fire on the day of the assembly. And the Lord gave them to me. Then I turned and came down from the mountain, and put the tablets in the ark that I had made, and there they are, as the Lord commanded me. I myself stayed on the mountain at the first time. I had 40 days and 40 nights, and the Lord listened to me that time also. The Lord was unwilling to destroy, and the Lord said, arise, go on your journey at the head of the other people, so that they may go in and possess the land, which I swore to their father to them. And now, what does the Lord your God require of you? But to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and to keep the commandments and statutes of the Lord, which I am commanding you today for your good. Hold to the Lord your God beyond heaven and heaven of heavens, and the earth was all that is in it. The Lord set high in love on your fathers, and chose their offspring after them, you above all peoples, as you are this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no longer stubborn. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great, the mighty, and the awesome God, who is not partial and takes no bribe. He executes justice for the fatherless and the widow, and loves the sojourner, giving him food and clothing. Love the sojourner, therefore, for you are sojourners in the land of Egypt. You shall fear the Lord your God. You shall serve him and hold fast to him. And by his name you shall swear. Use your praise, use your God, who has done for you these great and terrifying things that your eyes have seen. Your fathers went down to Egypt 70 persons, and now the Lord your God has made you as numerous as the stars of heaven. You shall therefore love the Lord your God, and keep his charge, his statutes, his rules, and his commandments always. And consider the discipline of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his outstretched arm, his signs and his deeds that he did in Egypt to Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and to all the land, and what he did to the army of Egypt, to their horses and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea fly as they pursued after you, and how the Lord has destroyed them to this day, and what he did to you in the wilderness, until you came to this place, and what he did to Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the son of Reuben, how the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, with their threshing households, their tents, and everything living thing that followed them. In the midst of all Israel, for you to see all the great work of the Lord that he did. You shall therefore keep the whole commandment that I command you today, that you may be strong and go and take possession of the land that you are going over to possess, and that you may live long in the land, and the Lord swore to your fathers to give to them and to their offspring, a land flowing with milk and honey. The land that you are entering to take possession of it is not like the land of Egypt, from which you have come, where you sowed your seed and irrigated it like a garden of vegetables. But the land that you are going over to possess is a land of hills and valleys, which drinks water by the rain of heaven, from heaven, a land that the Lord your God cares for. The eyes of the Lord your God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And if you indeed obey my commandments that I command you today, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, he will give the rain for your land in its season, the early rain and the later rain, that you may gather in your grain and your wine and your oil. And he'll give grass in your fields for your livestock, and you shall eat and be full. Take care lest your heart be deceived, and you turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And the anger of the Lord will be kindled against you, and he will shut up the heavens, so that there will be no rain, and the land will yield no fruit, and you will perish quickly of the good land that the Lord is giving you. You shall therefore lay out these words of mine in your heart and in your soul, and you shall bind them as a sign in your hand, and they shall be as frontliners between your house. And when you are walking by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise, you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, that your days and the days of your children may be multiplied in the land that the Lord swore to your fathers to give to them, as long as the heavens are above the earth. For if you will be careful to do this commandment, and I command you to do, loving the Lord your God, walking in all his ways, and holding fast to him, then the Lord will drive out all these nations before you, and you will dispossess nations greater and mightier than you. Every place on which the sole of your foot treads shall be yours. Your territory shall be from the wilderness to the Lebanon, and from the river Euphrates to the western sea. No one shall be able to stand against you. The Lord your God will lay the fear of you, and the dread of you, on all the land that you shall tread. As he promised you, see, I am setting before you today a blessing and a curse. The blessing, if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you today, and the curse that I am commanding you today, to go after other gods that you have not known, and when the Lord your God brings you into the land that you are entering to take possession of it, you shall set the blessing on Mount Gerizim and the curse on Mount Abel, and the land not beyond the Jordan, west of the river, toward the going down of the sun, in the land of the Canaanites who live in the Arabah, opposite Gilgal, beside the oak of Moreh, where you are to cross over the Jordan to go and take possession of the land that the Lord your God is giving you. And when you possess it and live in it, you shall be careful to do all the statutes and the rules that I am setting before you today. These are the statutes and laws that you shall be careful to do in the land that the Lord, the God of your fathers, has given you to possess, all the days that you live on the earth. You shall surely destroy all the places where the nations whom you shall dispossess serve their gods, on the high mountains and on the hills, and under every green tree. You shall tear down the altars and dash in pieces their pillars and burn their Asherah with fire. You shall chop down the carved images of their gods and destroy their name out of their place. And you shall not worship the Lord your God in that way. But you shall seek the place that the Lord your God will choose out of all your tribes to put his name and make his habitation there. There you shall go, and there you shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and the contribution that you present, your vow offerings and your freewill offerings, and the firstborn of your herd and of the flock. And there you shall eat before the Lord your God, and you shall rejoice, you and your households, in all that you undertake. And if the Lord your God has blessed you, you shall not do according to all that we are doing here today. Everyone doing whatever is right in his own eyes. For you have not as yet come into the rest and to the inheritance that the Lord your God is giving you. When you go to Jordan and live in the land that the Lord your God is giving you, when you go to Jordan and live in the land that the Lord your God is giving you to inherit, and when he gives you rest from all your enemies around so that you live in safety, and to the place that the Lord your God will choose, to make his name dwell there, then you shall bring all that I command you, your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and the contribution that you present, and all your finest vow offerings that you vowed to the Lord. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God, you and your sons and your daughters, your male servants and your female servants, and the Levite that is within your towns, since he has no portion or inheritance with you. So take care that you do not offer your burnt offerings at any place that you see, at the place that the Lord will choose in one of your tribes. There you shall offer your burnt offerings, and there you shall do all that I am commanding you. However, you may slaughter and eat meat within any of your towns, as much as you desire, according to the blessing of the Lord your God that he has given you. The unclean and the clean may eat of it, as is of the gazelle and of the deer. Only you shall not eat the blood. You shall pour it out on the earth like water. You may not eat within your towns the tithe of your grain, or of your wine, or of your oil, or the firstborn of your head, or of your flock, or any of your vow offerings that you vow, or your freewill offerings, or the contribution that you present. You shall eat them before the Lord your God, in the place that the Lord your God will choose, you and your son and your daughter, your male servant and your female servant, and the Levite who is within your towns. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God in all that you undertake. Take care that you do not neglect the Levite as long as you live in your land. And the Lord your God enlarges your territory as he has promised you. And you say, I'll eat meat, because you crave meat. And you may eat meat whenever you desire. If the place that the Lord your God will choose to put his name there is too far from you, and you may kill any of your herd or your flock, which the Lord has given you, as I have commanded you, and you may eat within your towns whenever you desire. And just as the gazelle or the deer is eaten, so you may eat of it. The unclean and the clean alike may eat of it. Only be sure that you do not eat the blood, for the blood is the life, and you shall not eat the life. Eat the life with the flesh. You shall not eat it. You shall pour it out on the earth like water. You shall not eat it, that all may go well with you and your children after you, when you do what is right in the sight of the Lord. Like the holy things that are due from me, and your vow offerings, you shall take, and you shall go to the place that the Lord will choose. And then offer your burnt offering, the flesh and the blood, on the altar of the Lord your God. The blood of your sacrifices shall be poured out on the altar of the Lord your God. As the flesh you may eat, be careful to obey all these words that I command, that it may go well with you and with your children after you forever. And you do what is given right in the sight of the Lord your God. When the Lord your God cuts off for you the nations whom you go in to dispossess, and you dispossess them and dwell in their land. Take care that you be not ensnared to follow them after they have been destroyed before you, and that you do not inquire about their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? That I also may do the same. You shall not worship the Lord your God in that way, for every abominable thing that the Lord hates they have done for their God, for they even burn their sons on their daughters in the fire to their gods. Everything that I command you, you shall be careful to do. You shall not add to it or take from it. If a prophet or dreamer or dreams rises among you and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or wonder that he tells you comes to pass, and he says, let us go after other gods which you do not know, and let us serve them. You shall not listen to the words of that prophet or the dream, or that dreamer of dreams. The Lord your God is testing you to know whether he loves the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. You shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and you shall serve him and hold fast to him. But that prophet and dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has taught rebellion against the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of slavery, to lead you in the way in which the Lord your God commanded you to walk. So you shall purge the evil from your midst. And if your brother, the son of your mother, or the son of your daughter, or the wife you embrace, or your friend who is as your own soul entices you secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which neither you nor your fathers had known, some of the gods and of the peoples who are around you, either near you or far off from you, and from the one end of the earth to the other, you shall not yield to him or listen to him, nor shall your eye pity him, nor shall you spare him, nor shall you conceal him, but you shall kill him. Your hand shall be first against him to put him to death, after the hand of all the people. You shall stone him to death with stones, because he sought to draw you away from the Lord your God, and he brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and never again do any such wickedness as this among you. If you hear in one of your cities, which the Lord your God is giving you to dwell there, that certain worthless fellows have gone out among you, and have drawn away the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods which you do not know. And you shall inquire and make search, and they are still diligently. And behold, if it be true and certain that such an abomination has been done among you, you shall surely put the inhabitants of that city to the sword, but dividing it to destruction, all who are in it and its cattle at the edge of the sword. And you shall gather all its spoil into the midst of the open square, and burn the city and all its spoil with fire, as a whole burnt offering to the Lord your God. It shall be a heap forever. You shall not be built again. None of the divided things shall stick to your hand. And the Lord may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and show you mercy, and have compassion on you, and multiply you, as he swore to your fathers. If you obey the voice of the Lord your God, keeping all his commandments that I am commanding you today, and doing what is right in the sight of the Lord your God, you are the sons of the Lord your God. You shall not cut yourselves or make any boldness on your foreheads for the day. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God, and the Lord has chosen you to be a people for his treasured possession. Out of all the peoples who are on the face of the earth, you shall not eat any abomination. These are the animals you may eat: the ox, the sheep, the goat, the deer, the gazelle, the roebuck, the wild goat, the ibex, the antelope, and the mountain sheep. Every animal that passes the hoof and has the hoof cloven into and chews to cud, among the animals you may eat. Yet those that chew the cud or have the hoof cloven, you shall not eat these: the camel, the hare, and the rock badger, because they chew the cud but do not pass the hoof, are unclean for you. And the pig, because it passes the hoof but does not chew the cud, is unclean for you. Their flesh you shall not eat, and their carcasses you shall not touch. Of all that are in the waters you may eat these. Whatever has fins or scales you may eat, and whatever does not have fins and scales you shall not eat. It is unclean for you. You may eat all clean birds. But these are the ones that you shall not eat: the eagle, the beetle vulture, the black vulture, the kite, the falcon of any kind, every raven of any kind, the ostrich, the nighthawk, the seagull, the hawk of any kind, the little owl and the short-eared owl, the barn owl and the tawny owl, the carrion vulture and the cormorant, the stork, the heron of any kind, the hoopoe and the bat. When all winged insects are unclean for you, they shall not be eaten. All clean winged things you may eat. You shall not eat anything that has died naturally. You may give it to the sojourner who is within your towns, so that he may eat of it. Or you may sell it to a foreigner. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. You shall tackle the yield of your seed that comes from the field year by year. And for the Lord your God, in the place that he will choose to make his name dwell there. And you shall eat the tithe of your grain, of your wine, and of your oil, and the firstborn of your herd and flock, that you may learn to fear the Lord your God always. And if the way is too long for you, so that you are not able to carry the tithe, then the Lord your God blesses you. And if the place is too far from you, which the Lord your God chooses to set his name there, then you shall turn it into money, and bind up the money in your hand, and go to the place that the Lord your God chooses, and spend the money for whatever you desire, oxen or sheep, or wine or strong drink, whatever your appetite craves. And you shall eat there before the Lord your God, and rejoice, you and your household. And you shall not neglect the Levite who is within your towns, for he is no portion or inheritance with you. And at the end of every 3 years you shall bring out all the tithe of your produce in the same year, and lay it out within your towns. And the Levite, because he has no portion or inheritance with you, and the sojourner, the fatherless, and the widow, who are within your towns, shall come and eat and be filled, that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hands that you may do, and that you do. At the end of every 7 years you shall grant a release, and this is the manner of the release. Every creditor shall release what he has lent to his neighbor. You shall not exact it of his neighbor, his brother, because the Lord's release has been proclaimed. Or of a foreigner you may exact it. But whatever is yours is with your brother, your hand shall release. There will be no poor among you. The Lord will bless you in the land that the Lord your God is giving you for an inheritance to possess. If only you will strictly obey the voice of the Lord your God, being careful to do all this commandment that I command you today, for the Lord your God will bless you as he promised you. And you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. And you shall rule over many nations, but they shall not rule over you. But if among you one of your brothers should become poor, if in any of your towns within your land that the Lord your God is giving you, you shall not harden your heart or shut your hand against your poor brother, but you shall open your hand to him and lend him sufficient for his need, whatever it may be. Take care lest there be an unworthy thought in your heart when you say, the 7th year, to the year of release is near, and your eye look grudgingly on your poor brother, and you give him nothing, and he cries to the Lord against you, and you be guilty of sin. You shall give to him freely, and your heart shall not be grudging when you give to him, because for this the Lord your God will bless you in all your work and in all that you undertake. But thou will never cease to be poor in the land. Therefore I command you, you shall open wide your hand to your brother, to the needy and to the poor in your land. If your brother, a Hebrew man or Hebrew woman, is sold to you, he shall serve you 6 years, and in the 7th you shall let him go free from you. And when you let him go free from you, you shall not let him go empty-handed. You shall furnish him liberally out of your flock, out of your threshing floor, and out of your winepress. As the Lord your God has blessed you, and you shall give to him. And you shall remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you. Therefore I command you to do this day. But if he says to you, I'll not go out from you, because he loves you and your household, since he is well with you, and you shall take an awl, and put it through his ear into the drill, and you shall be a slave forever, and to your female slave you shall do the same. It shall not seem hard to you when you let him go free from you, for at half the cost of a hired worker he has served you 6 years. And the Lord your God will bless you in all that you do. And all the firstborn males that are born of your herd and flock you shall dedicate to the Lord your God. You shall do no work with the firstborn of your herd, nor share the firstborn of your flock. You shall eat it, you and your household, before the Lord your God, year by year, at the place that the Lord will choose. Yet if he has any blemish, is lame if it is lame or blind, or has any serious blemish whatever, you shall not sacrifice it to the Lord. Or you shall eat it within your towns. The unclean and the clean alike may eat it, as though it were a gazelle or deer. And you shall not eat its blood. You shall pour it out on the ground like water. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover to the Lord your God. For in the month of Abib the Lord your God brought you out of Egypt by night. And you shall offer the Passover sacrifice to the Lord your God. And from the flock or the herd, at the place that the Lord will choose, should make his name dwell there. You shall eat no unleavened bread with it. 7 days you shall eat it with unleavened bread, the bread of affliction, which you came out of Egypt in haste. Now all the days of your life you may remember the day when you came out of the land of Egypt. No leaven shall be seen with you in all your territory for 7 days. Nor shall any of the flesh that you sacrifice on the evening of the first day remain all night until morning. You may not offer the Passover sacrifice within your towns, as the Lord your God is giving you, but at the place that the Lord your God will choose, to make his name dwell there. There you shall offer the Passover sacrifice in the evening at sunset, at the time he came out of Egypt. And you shall cook it and eat it at the place that the Lord your God will choose. And in the morning you shall turn and go to your tents. The 6 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day you shall be a solemn assembly to the Lord your God. You shall do no work on it. You shall come. Psalm 100, Proverbs 20:26. Like snow and summer or rain and harvest are honest, not fitting for a fool like a sparrow, and it's flitting like a swallow and it's flying, because there is causeless does not alight, a whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the back of fools. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him yourself. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. Whoever sends a message by the hand of the fool cuts off his own feet and drinks out violence. Like a lame man's legs, which hang useless, there is problem in the mouth of fools. Like one who binds a stone in a sling, is like one who gives honor to a fool, like a thorn that goes up in the hand of a drunkard, and a proverb in the mouth of fools, and like an archer who wounds everyone is one who hires a passing fool or drunkard. Like a dog that returns to his vomit is a fool who repeats his folly. Do you see a man who is wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. As Slugger says, there is a lion in the road, there is a lion in the streets. As the door turns on its hinges, so does a slugger on his bed. As a slugger buries his hand in the dish, it wasn't meant to bring it back to his mouth. A slugger is wiser in his own eyes than someone who can answer sensibly. Whoever meddles in a quarrel on his own is like one who takes a passing dog by the ears. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death isn't the man who deceives the name and says, I am only joking. With lack of wood the fire goes out, and where there is no whisper, quarrelling ceases. Charcoal to hot embers and wood to fire, so is a quarrelsome man for kindling strife. The words of a whisperer are like delicious morsels. They go down into the inner parts of the body. Like the glaze covering an earthen vessel are fervent lips with an evil heart. Whoever hates disguises himself with his lips and harbors deceit in his heart. When he speaks graciously, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Though his hatred be covered with deception, his wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. Whoever takes a pit will fall into it, and his stone will come back on him who starts it rolling. A lying tongue hates the victim, so a flattering mouth works ruin. Psalm 119. Blessed are those whose way is blameless, who walk in the way of the Lord. And blessed are those who keep his testimonies, who seek him with their whole heart, who also do no wrong, but walk in his ways. You have commanded your precepts to be kept diligently. Oh, that my ways may be steadfast, and keeping your statutes, then I shall not be put to shame. Having my eyes fixed on all your commandments, I will praise you with an upright heart. When I learn your righteous rules, I will keep your statutes. Do not utterly forsake me. How can a young man keep his way pure? By guarding it according to your word. Now, with my whole heart I seek you. Let me not wander from your commandments. I have stored up your word in my heart, that I might not sin against you. Lest you, O Lord, teach me your statutes. With my lips I declare all the rules of your mouth. All the ways of your testimonies I delight, as much as in all riches. I will meditate on your precepts, and I will fix my eyes on your ways, and I will delight in your statutes, and I will not forget your word. Deal bountifully with your Sabbath, that I may live and keep your word. Open my eyes, and I may behold. One springs out of yellow. I am a sojourner on the earth. Hide not your commandments from me. My soul is consumed with longing for your rules at all times. You rebuke the innocent accursed ones. You wander from your commandments. You take away from me scorn and contempt. For I have kept your testimony. Even though princes sit plotting against me, your servant will meditate on your statutes. Your testimonies are my delight. They are my counselors. My soul clings to the dust. Give me life according to your word. When I am told of my ways, you answer me. Teach me your statutes. Make me understand the way of your precepts. I will meditate on your wondrous works. My soul melts away for sorrow. Strengthen me according to your word. Put the false ways far from me, and graciously teach me your law. I have chosen the way of faithfulness. I set your word before me. I cling to your testimonies, so the law. Let me not be put to shame. I will run in the way of your commandments when you enlarge my heart. Teach me, O Lord, the way of your statutes, and I will keep it to the end. Teach me, give me understanding, that I may keep your law and observe it with my whole heart. Lead me in the path of your commands, for I delight in it. I incline my heart to your testimonies, and not to selfish gain. Turn my eyes from looking at worthless things, and give me life in your ways. Confirm to the Son of your promise, that you may be feared. Turn away the reproach that I get, for your rules are good. Hold, I long for your precepts, and your righteousness give me life. Let your steadfast love come to me, O Lord. Your salvation according to your promise. Then I shall have an answer for him who taunts me. For I trust in your word, and take not the word of truth humbly out of my mouth. My hope is in your rules. And I will keep your law continually forever and ever, and I shall walk in a wide place. If I have sought your precepts, I will also speak of your testimonies before kings. And shall not be put to shame, for I find my delight in your commandments, which I love. I will lift up my hands toward your commandments, which I love. And I will meditate on your statutes, and remember your word to your servant, in which you have made me hope. This is my comfort in my affliction, that your promise gives me life. The insolent utterly deride me, but I do not turn away from your law. When I turn away from your rules from of old, I take comfort, O Lord. How indignation seizes me because the wicked who forsake your law. Your statutes have been my songs in the house of your sojourn. My sojourn. I remember your name in the night, O Lord, and keep your law. This blessing is more unto me, that I have kept your precepts. The Lord is my portion. I promise to keep my words. I entreat your favor with all my heart. May you gracious to me according to your promise, and I think on my ways, and I turn my feet to your testimonies. I hasten and do not delay to keep your commandments. The cause of the wicked ensnare me. I do not forget your law. Let me not arise to praise you because of your righteous rules. And I am companion of all who fear you, and of those who keep your precepts. The earth, O Lord, is full of your steadfast love. Teach me your statutes. You have dealt well with your servant. O Lord, according to your word. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I believe in your commandments. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I keep my word. Keep your word. You are good and do good. Teach me your statutes. Your insolent smear me with lies, that with my whole heart I keep your precepts. My heart is unfeeling like fat, but I delight in your law. It is good for me that I was afflicted, and that I might learn your statutes. The law of your mouth is better to me than thousands of gold and silver pieces. Your hands have made them fashion me. Give me understanding that I may learn your commandments. Those who fear you shall see me and rejoice, because I have hoped in your word. I know, O Lord, that your rules are righteous, and that in faithfulness you have afflicted me. Let your steadfast love comfort me according to your promise, to the promise of your Son. Let your mercy come to me that I may live, for your law is my delight. Let the insolent be put to shame, because they wrong me with falsehood. As for me, I will meditate on your precepts. Let those who fear you turn to me, that they may know your testimonies, that may my heart be blameless in your statutes, that I may not be put to shame. My soul longs for your salvation. I hope in your word. And your eyes long for your promise. I ask, when will you comfort me? For I have become like a wineskin in the snow. Yet I have not forgotten your statutes. How long will your servant endure? When you judge those who persecute me, the innocent have dug pitfalls for me. They do not live according to your law. All your commandments are sure. You persecute me with falsehood. Help me. I have made an end of me on earth. I have not forsaken your precepts. In your steadfast love give me life, that I may keep the testimonies of your mouth. Forever, O Lord, your word is firmly fixed in the heavens. Your faithfulness endures to all generations. For you have established the earth, and it stands fast. When you are appointed, they stand this day. For all things are established. If your law had not been my delight, I would have perished in my affliction. I will never forget your precepts, for by them you have given me life. And you will save me, for I have sought your precepts. The wicked lie in wait to destroy me. I consider your testimonies. I have seen a limit to all perfection. But your commandment is exceedingly broad. How I love your law. It is my meditation all the day. Your commandment makes me wiser than my enemies, for it is ever with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers. Your own testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the age, for I keep your precepts. I held back your feet from every evil way in order to keep your word. Keep your I do not turn aside from your rules, for you have taught me. How sweet are your words to my taste, sweeter than honey to my mouth. Through your precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. Your word is a lamp to my feet, and a light to my path. I have sworn earth and confirmed. You keep your righteous rules. I am severely afflicted. Give me life, O Lord, according to your word. I accept my farewell offerings of praise, O Lord, and teach me your rules. I hold my life in my hand continually, but I do not forget your law. Your wicked have laid a snare for me. I do not stray from your precept. Your testimonies are my heritage forever. For they are the joy of my heart. I incline my heart to perform your statutes forever to the end. I hate the double-minded, but I love your Lord. You are my hiding place and my shield. I hope in your word. Depart from me, you evildoers. Yeah, I may keep the commandments of my God. Uphold me according to your promise, that I may live, and let me not be put to shame in my head. Hold me up, that I may be safe, and have regard for your statutes continually. You spend though all who go astray in your statute, for their cunning is in vain. All the wicked of the earth you discard like dross. Therefore I love your testimonies. My flesh trembles for fear of you, and I am afraid of your judgment. I have done what is just, and do not leave me to my oppressors. Give your servant a pledge of good. Let not the insolent oppress me. I long for your salvation, and for the fulfillment of your righteous promise. As you with your servant according to your steadfast love, and teach me your statutes. I am your servant, give me understanding, that I may know your testimony. It is time for the Lord to act, for your law is being broken. Therefore I love your commandments above fine gold. Therefore I consider all your precepts to be right. I hate every false way. Your testimonies are wonderful. Therefore my soul keeps them. The unfolding of your words gives light. It imparts understanding to the simple. Understanding to the simple. I open my mouth and pen, because I long for your commandments. Turn to me and be gracious to me. As is your way with those who love your name. Keep steady my steps according to your promise, and let no iniquity get dominion over me. Redeem me from man's oppression. I may keep your precepts. Make your face shine upon your servant, and teach me your statutes. I shed streams of tears, because people do not keep your law. Righteous are you, O Lord, and bright are your rules. You have appointed your righteousness. Testimonies in righteousness and in all faithfulness. My zeal consumes me, because my foes forget your words. Your promise is well tried, and your servant loves it. I am small and despised, yet I do not forget your precepts. Your righteousness endures forever. Your testimonies are righteous forever. Give me understanding that I may live. And with my whole heart I cry. Answer me, O Lord, and I will keep your statutes. And I call to you, save me. That I may observe your testimonies. I rise before dawn and cry for help. I hope in your words. My eyes are awake before the watches of the night, that I may meditate on your promise. Hear my voice according to your steadfast love. O Lord, according to your justice, give me life. They draw near who persecute me with evil purpose. They are far from your law. And you are near, O Lord, and all your commandments are true. Long have I known from your testimonies that you have founded them forever. Look on my affliction and deliver me. I do not forget your law. Hear my cause and redeem me. Give me life according to your promise. Salvation is far from the wicked, for they do not seek your statutes. Great is your mercy, O Lord. Give me life according to your rules. Many are my persecutors and my adversaries, but I do not swear from your testimony. I look at the faithless with disgust, because they do not keep your commandments. Consider how I love your precepts. Give me life according to your steadfast love. You give me life. The sum's word is truth, and every one of your righteous rules endures forever. Princes persecute me without cause, but my heart stands in awe of your words. I rejoice at your word, like one who finds great sport. I hate and abhor falsehood, but I love you, Lord. 7 times a day I praise you for your righteous rules. May peace have those who love you, Lord, and nothing can make them stumble. I hope for your salvation, O Lord, and I do your commandments. My soul keeps your testimonies. I love them exceedingly. I keep your precepts and testimonies. All my ways are before you. Let my cry come before you, O Lord. Give me understanding according to your word. Let my plea come before you, and deliver me according to your word. My lips will pour forth praise, for you teach me your statutes. My tongue will sing your word, for your commandments are right. Let your hand be ready to help me, for I have chosen your precepts. I long for your salvation, O Lord, and your Lord is my delight. Let my soul love and praise you, and let your rules help me. I have gone astray like a lost sheep, seek your servant, and for I do not forget your commandments. Now this time I shall now do the Lord's Prayer. Please by your hands, our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we also forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.